How are the goals monitored and followed through?
As far as the training goes, the standards are you have to take the test at the end and complete the test, and if you fail it, you have to take it again, and you have to keep taking it until you're done.
As far as goals go for everyone, there is a corporate standard, and that way it's a fair practices. Everybody's judged the same way as far as the accomplishment. However, as far as like how you're going to get to your goals, everybody has a part of that. We have monthly coaching, scorecard sessions. There we can tweak up specific action plans, what's not working for you, an individual. Everybody has different learning levels, curves, and I can't expect anybody to be the same. Ultimately, we need to get to a goal, but if I need to work a little more in this area with one employee versus another who may be really doing a good job, we share again best practices and give them the tools and the learnings and whatever they need to get to the end all goal, because we want everybody to be successful here and to encourage them to move on.
At the end of the quarter, I'll sit down and I'll do a quarterly review. Okay? Now, if I have a particular sales associate who is really not cutting it for the first 30 days or the first 60 days of that quarter, I'll sit down with them and point it out to them and say, here's what you have to do to obtain that gold, and this is what you need, how to get it.
Then I watch, make sure they do it, and hold them accountable.
How do you manage performance?
I'm not really good about performance ratings or annual appraisals. Actually, one of my favorite lines, and I have to read this to you, because this is when I'm looking at in sales, in my sales area where they're actually selling to the public, their goals and requirements are a lot different than administrative personnel, support personnel. Okay, and so one of the things that's really important to me that I look at is the achievements that you've made, the value you've brought to the company, whether you've met or exceeded expectations, and how you contribute to the profit.
We rate from 1 to 5, and that's how the scorecards come out every month. So it's really black and white. This is what you've done, this is what your results were, and this is what we're rating you. And as far as an evaluation at the end of the year, we have quarterly check-ins with these personal development plans where we give some feedback and based again on the scorecards and performance. And we give the employee a chance to respond to comments, compliments, some best practices. We talk to each other. So we're open to what an employee may be having difficulty with or what they're feeling like they're doing well, and we forgot to recognize them. We don't do that on purpose. Sometimes it happens. But we gives them a chance to let us know so that we're keeping up, so that at the end of the year, we have the employee evaluate their performance, and we also evaluate it, and we come to a consensus, to be fair to everybody. Because there may be something that we did miss, honestly, that we want to make better and make it right.
We do a quarterly review, a verbal review on their sales productivity. I sit them down and I talk to the ones who are particularly having problems meeting their goals. Each salesperson in here has a goal for the year, for the half of the year, and a quarterly goal. And if they're behind or whatever, I'll sit them down and talk to them about their goals, how they can obtain that goal, and whatever I can do to help them. We have a productivity form that's printed out at the end of the quarter, but I get it once a week. I can actually tell you how much they write, how many items they've sold, and what the average dollar sale is. Those are the 3 items that we look at. Productivity as far as the dollars, the IPT, which is items per transaction, which is a hot thing with me. You have to average in here at least 3.2 to 3.8 in order to make yourself a decent salary or a living, or you have the average dollar sales. And average dollar sales is the volume and the amount of each sale. The higher you get, the more you make.
I tend to try to catch them being good and try to catch them being bad, both. I do subscribe to the 1 Minute Manager. When I was in college, I won't tell you how many years ago, that was the hot thing in the mid '80s, and I tend to do that 1 minute praise or 1 minute yell, and then it's gone. As far as I'm concerned, it's behind us, and you know, that you basically tell people how you feel, and then you tell them, you know, why you feel that way, and the feeling part is really important. And then you tell them what they did wrong, and then you tell them you appreciate all the good things they do. And if you're praising somebody, you tell them how you feel, and you tell them why you feel that way and what they did to make you feel that way, and then you tell them to keep doing the good things. And that tends to work for me.
How do you motivate your employees?
I think the biggest motivation for my employees is, again, a good place to be. So many of the individuals that work here have been with other companies, and I like being here every day, and I want my employees to like being here every day. And when they don't, and you can see it happens, all of a sudden they cross this line that they'll say, this is a terrible place. And for me, when you say this is a terrible place to work, you're already one step out of the door. I'm looking for a reason to get rid of you, because I don't want you here. I don't want that negative energy to permeate my employees. It just doesn't need to be here, because it's a really good place to work, and you have to like what you do.
Well, I have been known as the whistler, the singer, the dancer, whatever it takes. I've actually been known to wear a fish get up for a day. We do work by the fish philosophy here, which is to be there with the right attitude, having a good time, you know, playing, having fun, making somebody else's day. So I do whatever it takes to just keep everybody up. Motivation. You know, I like to try to lead by example, be a little crazy around the edge, but professional. I've had a lot of fun with my customers, and I encourage my tellers to do the same, because I think people remember you for that. There is a time for fun, though. We need to know where that line is. Professional, we're in a banking industry, very professional. You know, be recognizing those that you can have a little more fun with than another without leaving the other out. You know, just motivation. You know, come on, let's have a good day. My favorite expression right now is let's get fired up, because, you know, we got to spend a lot of time together. So you might as well be enjoying the day that you're having.
Well, motivation is an individual thing. Everybody, if you get a group of people to motivate, not everybody motivates under the same premise. Usually money motivates everybody. So what I do is I try to motivate people with merchandise, rewards, or money rewards. If we have items in the store or merchandise in the store that's not selling real well, I'll put a contest in place where if they sell, whoever sells the most for a week will either win that item or they'll win money.
I learned, I'm not a natural leader, you know, so I learned the hard way that one of the important things to do is to give people a creative outlet at whatever level they operate on. So if it's a brand new rookie and they have a responsibility to clean something or whatever, I let them organize their own work and do it their way, and don't give them a whole lot of how-tos. I give them, you know, what they have to do, but I let them decide how they're going to do it. And the people seem to flourish under that, you know. And then, if we're talking about higher level people, lieutenants and captains, I just might tell them 3 things they have to get done this trick or this day, today or something, and not tell them how to do it. Just say, I don't care how you do it, just get it done. And people seem to respond under that. So that's one of the things I do. And I think that if you give people a creative outlet and you give them fulfilling work and you let them have some autonomy, they tend to be more motivated than if you're managing every minute.